My family is from Acapulco, Mexico. We are actually descendants of the Mexica or the Aztecs. I'm a first-generation student and also a first-generation American as well. A lot of people would visit my father's trailer asking for help, and whether it was like an injury or like they just weren't feeling well. And so from when I was really little, I always thought he was a doctor because he was there to provide care for the community. And then it wasn't until I was in 10th grade in high school that I discovered what college was. Before that, I had no idea what it was. And I discovered what college was because I also wanted to be a doctor like my father. And so at that point, I went back to ask my dad like where he went to medical school and where he went to college, and that's when he told me that he hadn't even graduated from high school. And from that point, I really got inspired to to take those steps and to take these great opportunities to become a medical doctor myself. When I came to CU Denver, I knew I wanted to go to medical school, right? So I became a biology major, like every other pre-med student. But then it wasn't until I took a class called Race, Ethnicity, and Social Justice, where I started to learn about like public health and health inequities and how medicine can make a difference in those communities. And there's where I really start to get an understanding about other drivers of what contributes to health. Because when we think about health, we just mainly think about going to the doctors, right? But in reality, health means like access to food, it means access to shelter, it means being taken care of, taking care of your family, having a stable job. And by understanding those things, I think it gave me a better perspective of like the type of doctor I want to be, and those perspectives really came from becoming a student here at CU Denver. A lot of times, specifically in higher education, we often feel like we don't belong or that we don't fit in. Things are too hard, but here at CU Denver, like there's a place for you, and there's people here who care about you and are going to be here to push you through all the challenges that you're going to be facing. When you come to CU Denver, not only do you become a student here, but then you become part of the community, and being part of this community is definitely something special that will stay with you even after you graduate. At CU Denver, we talk about representation, and me being selected, as a person of color, as a brown man, as a Mexican man, being selected as a person to be on the mural is really empowering to me, and I'm hoping that it really sends a message to the future students that come here and the current students that are here that representation truly matters. And throughout my time at CU Denver, I actually wrote a lot about my experiences and the things that I learned about. And then a couple years ago, I looked back and I had all these essays. And so I ended up putting them all together, and it turned out to come out to be a book. And it's titled From Margins to Medicine, and it really talks about me growing up as a first-generation student, growing up in a medically underserved community, essentially like in the margins of society, and then kind of my journey all the way to now becoming a first-generation medical doctor in my family. I talk about the importance of public health. I talk about the importance of health equity. I talk about the importance of social justice and the integration into healthcare, and that's something I really hope to carry with me to the future, and most importantly, to hopefully inspire other first-generation students to pursue a career in healthcare.